Hello everyone, Evasion here and welcome back to another video. Today's video, I wanted to do a quick little opener guide for pre-patch. Lots is going to change by the time we hit max level, but I did make a video about the Kingsbane build that I've been using. I'll link to that in the description below. In this video, we're actually going to be using another build that I've made, and I was playing this recently. It plays very similar to how we have in the previous years, and the difference with this build is obviously I don't have Kingsbane. But for the sake of the openers, I will show where you can press Kingsbane if you have it. And also, the major issue with the Kingsbane build that I released in a previous video, link in the description, is that it didn't include Iron Wire, which we actually need to talent to gain our silence in PvP for Garrote. So a lot of the ways that I open with Kingsbane on the other build, I didn't actually realize that I didn't have the silence, which is only 3 seconds in PvP here. This Bleeds build does not have Master Assassin. The reason for that is my Legendary is Master Assassin until the end of the pre-patch, in which case once we start leveling and gaining talent points, this will likely be one of the first things I grab. Also, if you enjoy content like this and you want to support the channel, please be sure to give the video a like, consider subscribing more, and let's hop into the openers. I was actually able to queue some live examples here for you guys. So I did some battlegrounds. I got an opener here on this monk. We'll break it down in a second, but this is just to give you guys an idea of how fast somebody can go down from this. The goal with most rogue openers is to keep the target crowd controlled while you're trying to kill them, because this will give them a greater opportunity to actually use their gladiator's medallion and or if there are other classes, ways to use their escapes to actually deal with your damage. And the reason this is good is because most rogues in PvP, especially in arena, are based around getting crowd control setups for your team and winning when the enemy team can't respond. So all of these openers will assume that the target is trying to stay in crowd control. So in this opener in particular, we're going to go for a Garrote silence into a kidney as a general concept, and I'll show you where to put the other abilities. All right, so we're in stealth here. We're going to go for a Garrote to silence the target. Then we are going to use Rupture, which we have 3 points thanks to Shrouded Suffocation. Then we're going to press Mark for Death Kidney. This is a little bit rushed. We can actually get another global in here. Then I press Death Mark. And then we're going to use Exsanguinate. And that's going to make your bleeds hit a total of 100% harder and 100% faster between Exsanguinate and Death Mark. Then we're going to press Mutilate. And then we're going to use Shiv at the very end. Had this monk reacted it and been able to trinket this, the Shiv would have actually came in and applied Hemotoxin from her Honor Talents, which puts up that massive 40% Mortal Strike. So any heals he tried to do after reacting would have been greatly reduced. And that's going to very easily kill this guy. Had the target survive this, we can also, since we have Shiv up now, we can go into putting in Envenoms and refreshing our Garrote and Rupture when needed. Alright, so here's another live example of a situation where you might have to rush out your damage a little bit faster. This one's pretty sarcastic. I literally told this rogue in the starting area that I would peel him with blind, and I know that's because it's a skirmish. The other rogue will likely just shotgun his trinket and make him an easy target for me to get a clip for this video. So that's kind of what happened. So I get this guy to open up on the mage. I'm waiting to see the rogue. I'm just going to throw blind when I see him, because I'm pretty confident this guy's going to trinket. It happens all the time. And then I'm going to be able to do the opener. So he trinkets, and I go for a Mark for Death Kidney. And we'll just play it through here once. It happens pretty quick. We'll slow it down here in a second. This guy takes a massive amount of damage. And yeah, that's the kill there. Okay, so we're going to break it down. This is a good example of actually what to do to a rogue when it has no trinket, because if you just go with a Garrote like I do in a lot of the other openers, they can use things like Evasion or Disarm you with Dismantle, and it can make your life a lot harder. So it's good to be able to open up on them with a stun. So we're going to go in and we are going to get a Mark for Death Kidney to start off. Then we're going to use Garrote. Because of Shrouded Suffocation talent, we get 3 points, so we can rush out our Rupture, which will be long enough for the sake of this opener. Then we're going to I would press Death Mark here normally first, but I went with Shiv. And then I hit Exsanguinate. So I would do Death Mark, Exsanguinate, and then Shiv. And that's going to do a massive amount of damage. We're going to vanish off of Kidney Shot and put a half cheap shot onto the target to stop the rogue from using things like Cloak of Shadows and other defensives. And I get blinded before I can do the other one. I don't have Subterfuge in this build, so I can't actually use that second cheap shot. Normally, as Assassination, spamming out additional cheap shots is not usually that ideal, but because all of your damage is coming from these quickly and massive damage dealing dots, you can actually afford to use your crowd control in kind of a more sub-like manner, I would say. And so that's definitely a perk of having this bleed-oriented style build. Alright, so here's a Kingsbane opener where I don't even really get it ramped up. The difference with a Kingsbane opener is that you want to get your Envenom buff up as soon as possible so that it can start proccing more poisons to increase the damage of Kingsbane. This guy actually already has no trinket because I just blinded him before this clip started. We get a Garrote, Mutilate, Rupture, that's 5 points. And then I'm going to use a Mark for Death Kidney, and I'm going to throw out my Shiv and my Death Mark. And then I'm going to apply Kingsbane. So we get Shiv right there. Then we use our unused trinket and our death mark. And this guy is going to get hit by Kingsbane. So now there's going to be a ton of damage coming out. Yes, there's another target on this guy, or another person on this guy. But I'll show in details afterwards. I did 141k damage to this guy. Fortunately, he was Fury. And yeah, we get the Envenom off there at the end. So basically, we don't even get to the point where our damage really start ramping. And this target has already taken 140k damage. Even in that short amount of time, Kingsbane was our top damage. And there's the damage breakdown right there. Real quick, if you were playing this Kingsbane build from the previous video, I'll show you how to move the points around if you want to pick up Iron Wire. You'll actually gain Exsanguinate, so you'll kind of be a mini Bleeds build as well. But you won't have the quick openers from Shrouded Suffocation. And you won't have the Sepsis, which, by the way, Sepsis is more powerful in the talent tree than the one that you actually gain from the Covenant. Anyway, so we take cut to the chase here, and you're going to put this point into Exsanguinate, you're going to put this point into Iron Wire, and you can take this point out of Twist the Knife here, and then you should be able to go all the way down to Kingsbane. So there's that. You can play this if you want to update Kingsbane. Well, that's going to do it for this video. If you found this video useful, please be sure to smash the like button, and talk to me in the comments below with what you want to see next. And we will see you all in a future video. Peace.